Hey guys, MCU Collect here with another figure review. Next up is the Bandai Namco Tamashii Nations, the s.h.figuarts Spider-Man No Way Home, the Spider-Man, what did they call this? The new red and blue suit. This is the final swing suit as it has kind of been known now. I forget who actually coined the final swing nickname for it. I think it was one of the toy companies. But anyway, I got this s.h.figuarts Spider-Man from Figure Grail USA. So link in the video description below to his Instagram account and his website, figuregrail.com, to where you can actually get all of the import figures and things like that that you might be looking to get. The Spider-Man figure is available in stock right now. So make sure to head over to figuregrail.com and put your order in for this guy. So I just got it yesterday. I'm very pleased with it without even having taken it fully out of the box. Like, I opened it and pulled the tray out. It does come in the brown shipper box, so you have it here. It is kind of a little guy there. So we have the figure. The package looks really cool. Lots of bright reds and blues and things like that. You can see there, new red and blue suit. You can see a couple of different poses on the back and things like that. Looking really good. I've already cut the tape on mine. We're just going to slip the tray right on out. I have not taken the figure out at all. I've taken the tray out, but that is all I've done. Somewhere in here, we do get this little paperwork because all the import figures seem to come with instructions because they don't want you to mess anything up. So it looks like here it comes with the different interchangeable hands. So it's got fists, we've got web holding hands, we've got open hands, wall crawling hands, thwip hands, things like that. We got the piece so you can remove the part on his back. So if you wanted to use a stand, it doesn't come with the stand, but that is something that you can do. He has interchangeable hands and things like that. So don't really need to look at that. But here we have the figure, and it is just absolutely gorgeous looking. I love the metallic blue. I love that the web lines aren't crazy and stand out like insane like the Marvel Legends one does. We get a much better blue on the Figuarts. Just all around looks better in my opinion. Will I like it more than the Marvel Legends? I'm not sure, because I really like the Marvel Legends, but so far from what I see, I am really liking the s.h.figuarts figure quite a bit. So let me take this out of the tray and get the plastic removed from the torso, and we'll take a better look at the figure. Okay, so here we have the figure out of the package, and just as I had thought, I love the figure. I like the figure a lot. I don't know if I love it now that I have it out of the package. I really do like it. The problem with s.h.figuarts Spider-Man figures is, what the hell do they got going on here? They over-engineer the hell out of this whole area. And it's not all s.h.figuarts. There's some Figuarts, but it's definitely all Spider-Man s.h.figuarts, where they just over-engineer the hell out of these hips, and it just looks all funky. You got this like floating butt piece, and it's just weird the way they do it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that takes away some of the fun factor, because you have this larger thigh piece, and this, you know, significantly smaller like inner thigh piece. It just seems weird. Like older s.h.figuarts figure, like here's the Homecoming suit, and you could see the improvements that they've made kind of since then. But look at the thigh piece. You know, this upper thigh and the thigh piece. Look how they're very similar in size. Obviously, this lower thigh part is bigger than this portion, but as you can see, it blends in really nicely. But this guy, like, it's just a huge size difference, and that really takes away from the figure a little bit. Like, I can overlook the over-engineering if those thigh pieces were the same size. Look at the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man. Look, it's very similar in size. Obviously, you know, this thigh piece is bigger, but it blends in nicely. Let's look at the Tobey Maguire one. It's kind of along the lines of this, but isn't as bad, but still not quite good. So they can do it. It just seems like, for whatever reason on this figure, they just didn't do it as well. So it's just kind of tricky. So that, in all honesty, does take away quite a bit from it. But I absolutely love the way the figure looks. The red and the blue just look so good together. I love the metallic blue, something that we just didn't get in the Marvel Legends form. And it looks really good. And I love the web lines, how the web lines are noticeable. They're there, but they're not as thick and they're not as dark as the Marvel Legends version that we got. And then kind of some of the difference, like in the mask, where the web lines kind of stick out, it seems like on the Legends, it kind of looks indented in on the s.h.figuarts, and I think that kind of helps with it. So from an aesthetic standpoint, the s.h.figuarts wins in the colors at least, but overall the way the like proportions, the way the figure looks. I'm going to go to the Legends because of the hip thing going on here. And then another thing that I really, really hate on this figure is look at that ugly ass elbow, the way they did. It's just all red. And so it breaks it up here. Like when the arm is just straight out, it's not a big deal. But that is just kind of ridiculous looking, and that sucks. But, you know, things that can be overlooked and can be hidden with certain poses and things like that. And then here's the kicker. I'm not great at posing figures. I'm just not, especially when it comes to import figures, because they get a little bit more tricky and things like that. I'm not great at it. I have my stuff vanilla posed, but I can always appreciate really good figures. And when it's for, you know, my favorite character of all time, Spider-Man, and then throw that on top, it's an MCU Spider-Man, you know, it's something that I've got to have. So I'm very pleased with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the different accessories that he comes with. We have an extra head, and I've already kind of swapped it and then changed it back. You can hardly tell a difference between these heads, as it damn head is like stuck in the tray. I can't seem to get it out right now. But the eyes are squinted a little bit. Whoops. That's the only difference. There's not, like, I don't know that it was important to have this extra head where the eyes are slightly squinted, to be honest with you. I think an unmasked head would have come a long way. They do this weird thing to where you can't, like, swap heads around. Like, it can only fit a certain way because the way they're keyed and things like that. It's just, it's kind of odd, to be honest with you. So you got to get it just right in there to be able to swap the head and get it on. And I clearly am not doing this correctly at the moment because there we go. It's just kind of funky, but to be honest with you, I don't know that you could really tell a whole lot of difference. I mean, there can be some difference in what you're kind of going for if you're getting into a certain pose or doing some photography and things, but minimal change in there. We do get some web accessories, as you can see here. They're nice clear plastic, which is nice. So, you know, not like this crazy white color or anything like that. It's just translucent plastic. This one here, you can actually use one of the grip pans and you can hold on to the web accessory. And then you get these two pieces that can actually, what they'll do is they will go over the wrist pegs, so you can pop off a hand. I always get worried popping these off. And then you can actually fit these right over those pegs on the hands. And let's get a whip hand, which I can't seem to get out of the tray at the moment. So if you do this, you could pop the web piece over. Pop the web piece over the wrist peg, and then get your hand and peg the hand in there. And I think I put the wrong hand on, but you guys get the idea, right? So then you can, looks like he's doing the thwip, which is really cool. So we have that there. So let's go ahead and move on right into the articulation. So this is a fun one. I was trying to pop on a hand onto this damn little teeny tiny ass wrist peg, and I went like, and then it kind of fell apart. So I don't know if I broke my figure or not, which kind of sucks, but hopefully I didn't. And I think I'm missing a shoulder piece that I probably need to find because it probably went flying somewhere. So hopefully I can put these things back together. You know what, maybe it is just this piece. Maybe I just slip that over and then just pop this right back in. And then maybe I'm done and good. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so we're good to go. We're good. So just be careful when trying to pop on these damn hands onto these little mini wrist pegs. Be very, 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 very careful. Okay, so the articulation. Spider-Man, we can get him to look up that much. The neck itself can kind of move around and get some good pivot and circular motion in there. The head itself, you can also swivel by itself, and you can do some pivot going on there as well. You can do a full rotation in the head sculpt if you would like as well. The shoulders are kind of weird, as you saw when I had fallen, you know, ripped apart the arm and stuff. There's this little tiny red piece that's in there that's just kind of floats around that helps fill in some of the gap. It is a little bit odd, but it's, you know, it's there. You got the butterfly joint in there, which allows for a lot of extra movement, so you can get some really good crossbody back there. It doesn't actually get any movement going to the back though, so just a heads up on that. You know, so you guys are aware, but you can move that shoulder around kind of like crazy in some weird ways. But then you can, of course, get the arm to go straight on out. You got upper bicep swivel in there, which is good. You get a double jointed elbow, or I don't know if you would call that. Yeah, I mean, I guess you would call it a double jointed elbow, right? In there. Wrist peg, so the wrist will swivel and move all around because it is a ball peg, so you can move it in crazy different directions and everything like that, which is good. We have the upper diaphragm cut on here. One thing that is a little unfortunate, he does not allow for a whole lot of tilt to the side, so you could tilt that much there, and that's because the torso was already tilted. So just the upper diaphragm does not tilt. Oh, I just popped the head right on off. I am not... This is what happens when I take a 3-week break from doing, almost a month break from doing reviews. I can't seem to get in the rhythm of it. So the tilt is not very good on the diaphragm, but the body, because there is a ball joint at the waist, so you can actually get, some of that tilt at the waist going there. Going back, you can lean them back that much. Coming forward, you can do a whole lot. There ends up being quite a big gap there on the back. That's how all the Figuarts figures, Spider-Man figures at least, kind of tend to have been. So just a heads up on that. And as you can see, as you move around, how they sculpted the spider, so when you kind of move it down, you kind of go in there, but if you go back, it kind of fills in some of that, which is pretty cool. You can do a little bit of a twist at that diaphragm because you don't really get much of a twist at the waist, unfortunately. Legs can go out that far apart, full on splits. He can kick forward very high, which is good. The leg goes back an insane, unrealistic amount there. You have that thigh cut in there, double jointed knee. Would you consider a double jointed knee? Clean bend at the knee there. No calf swivel, of course. Foot hinges down a little bit. You get a lot more hinge up. It looks like there is a floating piece in there as well, just like there was on the shoulder, which is kind of odd. So it helps fill in the gap of that ball joint at the ankle, as you can see right there. This piece, because it is a separate piece that from the foot. So as you move it in the front and stuff, it helps fill in some of the gap, which is cool. And then you got ankle pivot in there. You can ankle pivot, and then you have toe hinge there, if I get my points of articulation right. So really good movement for the most part. It is lacking in the torso, in my opinion, and look at that. Jeez, I'm just being a little too rough, I think, today. These things do kind of pop apart while you should not do it and you don't really want to. It can happen. Be careful. It does pop back in together. So lots of engineering that goes along in with these import figures, but you can get it into the poses that you're really looking to get because of all the range of motion that you can. But again, it is a little bit restricted in this diaphragm. Okay, so I wanted to kind of show you guys this pose here and the way the hands are. So he's holding, the long web accessory that he comes with, and then here's a short, shooting web accessory there that's, goes along with the wrist and everything. So, the things that you can do with the figure can be a whole lot of fun. Again, it's just a matter of understanding, how a body should move and putting that into action figure form. Something that I have not been the greatest at, but every now and then give it a shot, and you can do some magical looking things like... I think this is decent enough anyway. You guys let me know what you think, but I think it's okay. Okay, so here's another little decent pose that I had kind of going, and so he kind of, is just kind of there, crouching down, and then get ready to swing, so he kind of thwips out, and kind of does that. So lots of cool things that you can do with this Spider-Man. Again, it's just a matter of, posing, practicing, if you have the patience to get him into the right poses and things like that. I know there's a lot of talented folks out there that are going to do some amazing things with this guy. So with that, let's go ahead and check out some side-by-side comparisons. Okay, so here we have the 3 different Spider-Man cinematic figures, I guess. So all from No Way Home. So we have the Tobey Maguire Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and this one was always kind of weird because the proportions were just kind of crazy. It's just awesome to have a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man figure. Then, of course, the Final Swing, and then here is the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man. This is a figure that I actually hate. I really don't like this figure at all. I think the shoulders look crazy, the head looks small, I hate the metallic red. It's just really weird. So the Final Swing new red and blue version suit, is definitely my favorite s.h.figuarts Spider-Man figure that they've probably done. The upgraded suit, the red and black one, was pretty good. I didn't bring that out to show you guys in a comparison. That was actually a really good figure. But this one is pretty good. It's just the thigh thing is just kind of weird to me. I'm not really a big fan of it. You know, if we look at other red and blue suits, so we get the original Spider-Man Homecoming red and blue suit. When you compare the two, it's kind of crazy because look at the size of this guy versus the size of this guy. So Figuarts figures always ran a little bit small. So it was just kind of crazy that back then they seemed to run even smaller. They seem to kind of go up in scale a little bit, which I think is a little bit more accurate representation. So we definitely get a better figure going on here. It's just that the thighs were engineered a little bit better back then versus what we have now. But I think, again, lots of improvements have been made kind of throughout. So I'm really happy with the way this one comes out versus kind of the older stuff there. And then the last comparison, the Marvel Legends, which we kind of taken a look at earlier. I love the red and blue on this one. I love the stripes on this one. In just terms of like overall kind of aesthetic look, the Legends is going to win a little bit because of the whole hip thing. I do like the shape of the head on the Figuarts way more than the Legends version. Seeing them side by side, now I kind of feel like, oh, this is a little too rounded. Doesn't quite look as good. It's a little bit too big. Proportionally, this probably works out a little bit better. It's just the weird, you know, engineering in the hip area. But this awesome looking figure. If you're just going to have it kind of there, or if you're going to get into certain poses, this one's definitely going to be one that is going to look really good on there. The spider logo is a lot bigger on the chest than on the Legends version, and you could see it a little bit more because it doesn't get lost in all the web lines. So that just looks amazing. Looking at it, just the red and blue just looks so nice on the s.h.figuarts, and really that's why I had gotten it. If you're a fan of import figures, if you're a fan of s.h.figuarts, I think you're going to be really pleased with this Spider-Man figure. Yes, there's a little bit of resistance and lack of articulation in this torso, but you could still get into a lot of really good poses. You just kind of have to practice with it and play around with it. But awesome looking Spider-Man figure that I think you guys would like if you do like s.h.figuarts figures. The Legends one is still, you know, as a $25 figure if you can find it. This is definitely probably the best way to go. But if you're looking for that Figuarts quality, you know, being able to get into certain poses and things like that, this is really the way to go. And again, it's in stock at figuregrail.com, so link in the video description below so you guys can check it out and put in your order. That does ship from here within the US, so you don't have to wait for international shipping or anything like that. So check them out, figuregrail.com, and then check them out on Instagram, figuregrail_USA. Both links will be in the video description below. So there's the s.h.figuarts new red and blue No Way Home suit, the final swing. You guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of this s.h.figuarts figure? I really like it. I don't love it like I thought I was going to, only because the hips, like the thigh pieces, like I knew the hip was going to be all engineered and be funky. It's just the thigh makes it so much worse, and unfortunately it brings it down a little bit in that department for me, but otherwise it's a beautiful looking figure. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that join button to become a channel member and be a part of the MCU collective. And as always, thank you for watching.